Hey, Ray, welcome to Hockey Skatedown. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. So the coaching carousel is still going around. You're hearing several names being linked to the New Jersey Devils and the Toronto Maple Leafs, and some of these names are exactly the same. So I wanted to do a video on it because it's very intriguing this offseason how many coaches, big name coaches, are available and how many teams are looking to fill that head coaching role. So I want to do a video on this, talk about the last couple of days, what's transpired with the New Jersey Devils and the Toronto Maple Leafs in their search for their next head coach. So stay with me throughout. So Pierre LeBrun tweeted a couple days ago, the Devils hope to have a new coach hired within 7 to 10 days. Clear picture by the end of the week. They have held extensive talks with Craig Berube. Elliot Friedman said that some people liked Berube in New Jersey, but a deal would have been done already. So they're deciding on a couple of options. Elliot Friedman also said on the Jeff Marek show that Berube and Woodcroft are very serious contenders for the Devils. Also told Todd McLellan has been brought in for several interviews with the Devils. But he also said that Craig Berube is at the top of the list for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Devils sought permission to talk to Sheldon Keefe after he was let go of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And as of now, Elliot Friedman said that on the Jeff Marek show that Sheldon Keefe and Jay Woodcroft are the current favorites to be the next head coach of the New Jersey Devils, and that Craig Berube and Todd McLellan are atop the favorites for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So this is interesting. You're seeing this carousel going around of, teams wanting the same exact coaches, but no deal has been done. I think this is going to come down to waiting a bit. You still have some series going around where if the Carolina Hurricanes were to lose to the New York Rangers, maybe Rod Brindamore's name becomes available. He's a name that will be heavily sought after, so any team would want to wait to see if that scenario comes about, and maybe they can get a Rod Brindamore to come in and coach their team. I think he'll be back as a Carolina Hurricanes head coach. The GM and the coach want to resolve this, but no contract has been done as of now, so his name might be out there if they were to lose. Same thing with the Boston Bruins. If they were to lose against the Florida Panthers, maybe Jimmy Montgomery's name becomes available. He's had regular season success and not been able to get a Stanley Cup with them, so maybe he's another name. Maybe they want to go a different direction. So there's a lot of coaching changes that could still happen. I don't think those two names will be available, but you never know. So we'll see what happens after this, but I do think the Devils and the Toronto Maple Leafs are waiting for this. They're doing their due diligence. They're talking to these head coaches. They're bringing them in for even one or two interviews. So that's where it stands now. Sheldon Keefe and Jay Woodcroft for the Devils, Craig Berube and McLellan for the Leafs. Now, for the Leafs, I like this because Craig Berube is a no-nonsense guy. We've seen the Toronto Maple Leafs be this easygoing team where they need this sort of coach. They need this sort of coach to kind of change the culture in the locker room and to bring that toughness, to bring that sort of listen to me sort of thing instead of going about what you're going to do. We've seen what happened with the Pastrnak goal, the way Marner was so lackadaisical getting back, and Pastrnak was able to come in and score and win the series for them. That would not fly with Craig Berube. We've seen him coach with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's a tough guy. He holds his players accountable and calls them out. So with the Toronto media, this may be a clash, especially with their players, but it's something that if it can work, I think it would be good. We've seen what kind of magic that Craig Berube has done with the St. Louis Blues, bringing them from the bottom of the league to winning the Stanley Cup in the same season. I don't think we'll see another magical run like that ever. It was awesome to see, and, Craig Berube is a good coach. He's a tough, stern guy. He played that way. He coaches that way, and he's going to hold them accountable to their mistakes and being better, rising to the occasion. And I think the Leafs need that sort of voice behind the bench. A lot of times we saw Sheldon Keefe not being that sort of way, and, you need that sort of coach, that sort of tough, aggressive guy to get their minds straight, to have them play a certain way. So, but this also has to go in favor of the team. They have to have that sort of personnel to bring forth this coach's message. So you're going to see a lot of changes with the Toronto Maple Leafs over the summer. So I think that Craig Berube or Todd McLellan would be a good choice for this team to be their next head coach. Shifting over to the Devils side, I did want Craig Berube. Any fan wants to see a Stanley Cup winning coach come in and help your team out to bring them to another level. But for me, I really wanted Mike Sullivan. I want him as my number one choice. He brings just a complete package of what the Devils need. He's tough, he's stern, he's emotional on the bench, but he's also a fair coach. He's coached superstars, he knows how to handle them, and I think he could be the perfect fit. He has some long-term friendship with Tom Fitzgerald, so that would work behind the scenes too. But I just think he would be the perfect fit. But Kyle Dubas hasn't relieved him of his duties. We all thought that would happen once Sheldon Keefe was fired from the Toronto Maple Leafs, but Mike Sullivan's still the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But Sheldon Keefe, I'm not totally against this. I want Sullivan and Berube, but I'm also the mindset to kind of think maybe a tough coach, might not be the correct answer for a team that's not that tough. You don't want to bring in a coach and have to overhaul your roster or bring in an element or have these players play not the way they've accustomed to playing and become superstars. So you want the perfect blend of a coach to kind of bring your team to the next level, to kind of see the way they play and mesh it with kind of the style that he wants them to play. And, with Craig Berube, I like him. I think he's a good coach, but he may not be the right coach for the New Jersey Devils just based on the way they played and had success, not this year, but last year. They want to get back to that level, so they need that type of coach that's going to help bring that message out of how they kind of have to play and mesh it with a more physical brand of hockey or more of a tough, grittier edge. So maybe Sheldon Keefe is. He's had a lot of success in the regular season with the Toronto Maple Leafs. The past 5 years, his regular season numbers have been superb, but his thing is that he can't get them over the hump in the playoffs. The last 5 years, they've won one playoff round, and that's where a lot of fans are like, I don't want that. I want someone who's going to be good in the playoffs. But the thing is, you never know how a coach is going to be with your team. Going from one team to the next, there's a lot of different factors that can change your outlook on how you coach. The media is a big thing. With Toronto's media, it's huge. And everything that happens wrong gets, magnified 100 times. With the Devils, the media coverage isn't as bad where it's not, it doesn't weigh on players as it does like the Toronto Maple Leafs or coaching staff or everybody. So I think it might benefit him coming here to help that situation. And, it's not going to change their total brand of hockey. He may add elements. I'm sure Fitzgerald would say, I want you to coach them well, but I also want you to be a little bit more strict and stern with them. So we'll see what happens. Just because he didn't have success with Toronto doesn't mean he can't find success with the New Jersey Devils. We've seen coaches come in from different organizations where they didn't win a cup to winning a cup. So we'll see what happens with this. But Sheldon Keefe and Jay Woodcroft were good coaches with their previous teams, but couldn't get them over that hump in the playoffs. And that's what a lot of fans look at. They want to bring in that Stanley Cup winning coach because even the players, they look at coaches like that and it resonates a bit differently. Their message may go a bit different than another coach, because the players see he got them there. Maybe I should listen to him, what he thinks we should do. And, it does resonate with players when you have a Stanley Cup winning coach behind the bench. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be something that over the offseason, you're going to see a lot of this happen. You're going to hear a lot of names probably in the next couple of days, or my luck as I'm doing this video and releasing it, a head coach will be determined for both of these teams. But, comment below if you're a Devils fan, if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, if you're a fan of a team that's looking for a head coach, comment below. Who do you think would be the perfect coach for your team heading into the next season? So comment below and let me know. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button if you haven't done so and subscribe to Hockey Skatedown. It's free and join our hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great night. Take it easy. Stay safe.